Hello and welcome everyone to the Michigan Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for being here. We have a wonderful group of institutions that are excited to share with you about their campuses and programs. I just have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. The first is that your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you today. But that Q&A function is turned on and ready for your questions. So if you have questions for any and all of our institutions here today, go ahead and use that Q&A button. You don't have to wait until they're presenting to ask. Go ahead and submit any questions to any institutions at any time. This is the last session of the event. So within about a week, you'll be able to find the recording for this event, along with all of the others at strivescan.com/Michigan. I put that in the chat for you. And that's a wrap. So we're going to turn it over now for our main event, and that is hearing from these wonderful institutions. Kicking it all off for us today is Hope College, whenever you're ready.
All righty. Share my screen real quick. Perfect. So thank you all for showing up today. We're super excited to just talk to you guys and get to share a little bit about our individual communities. My name is Seth Costello. I work in the Office of Admissions here at Hope College. And I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of an overview today about some of the cool things that you'll see at Hope and kind of what they have to offer and kind of how you can belong and find your belonging here at Hope. So to start off, I usually talk about the two things that you want to find in whatever school that you go to are going to be investing in your community and investing in yourself. Those are kind of the two things that you want to find at every school. Most of all, that investing in your community as well, because the students are what make up the community. Here at Hope College, if you were to find somebody on campus and you ask them what their favorite part about Hope College, 90% of the time they're going to say, well, it's the student body, it's the community around Hope, Holland community, it's the culture. So we really take pride in investing in your community. And then the other side of it is, of course, investing in yourself. That's what school is all about. You have to find the best place for your academics and so on. So we'll get into that a little bit more. What does that look like at Hope College, investing in your community, right? So we have tons of different student organizations, a lot of multicultural life, and that includes like our Center for Diversity and Inclusion. We have tons of clubs across campus. So if you guys are interested in starting a club or getting to know more people around campus, or want to make a little bit of a difference or explore diversity a little bit more, we have a place for everyone to belong, which is really awesome here at Hope. It's something that we really pride and hit on. If you're looking for a way to get your steps in on your Fitbit or something like that, we also offer athletics and intramurals. We have over 20 varsity sports. Some of that you might know of are our women's basketball team. They are #1 in the nation right now in D3. I believe they're like 45-0. So we really take pride in being student athletes as well. So right down here at the bottom of the screen, those are some of our traditions. One of them is like pull. That's a tug of war. It's a 3-hour-long tug of war between the incoming freshmen and the sophomores of each class. Really a fun way to get involved. The community and culture around those traditions is really nice. Then in the spring, you have MACAC, which is an all women production, and it's just a really awesome way to see the art and community of Hope College. Another way to invest in your community is also work studies. It's a great way to earn some mentorship with a professor, with your community, give back. It's also a great way to earn some money on campus, and it's a work study, so you're able to actually study while you work on campus, which is another way. So investing in your community, big thing, but moving on, investing in yourself. That's what school is all about. We want you guys to be able to invest in your career, in your yourself, and what you'll look like 4 years from now. So being at Hope, we are a liberal arts education, so you have to take into effect that small versus big mentality. We love the liberal arts education that we give just because it's so diverse. We take pride in being able to have students come in and getting a well-rounded knowledge of all different courses, so that when they make a decision on what major they want to choose, they're absolutely sure of it. Academics, though, we offer a lot of really great undergraduate research opportunities, especially in our sciences. These are opportunities that you might not even get at other schools until you explore postgraduate life. So those are really great option. We're right now in the top 30 nationally ranked for those undergraduate research opportunities, including Ivy League schools. And then we also have study abroad options. One of our big goals is to diversify our student body, whether that's studying abroad locally throughout the United States or globally. We offer over 300 different programs in 60 plus countries. So it's a really great opportunity to get out and explore. Career development and internships, we really take pride in being able to get you guys into some really awesome opportunities as soon as you get on campus your freshman year. And then Faith Life, we are a Christian institution. So we have opportunities like chapel and gathering that aren't required, but they're a great way to explore your faith. The best way to kind of encapsulate it all is that we love being able to give these opportunities to you, whether you want to explore them or not. We're welcome to have those opportunities for you and be there in case you just have questions or you want to talk or have some more questions that are a little bit more in depth. So we really enjoy having that as well. So investing in yourself is a big part as well. I'll wrap it up with just a little bit of an admissions timeline right here. Obviously, we're coming up on the last few days for our National Decision Day. Are you coming to Hope? So this is also for some seniors, but if you're a junior out there as well, we do have early admission deadline coming up here in late summer. So we're happy to have you guys. Really just whatever you guys are thinking, try to find a place that you're going to be able to invest in yourself and invest in your community to the best way possible. And we'll be happy with that. We just want you guys to feel like you have a place where you truly belong. So I will hand it back over. It was great to talk to you guys today. And thank you for coming.
All right, awesome job getting us started with today's event, Hope College. Thank you. Turning it over now to Alma College. Take it away.
Let me just share my screen. Hi, everybody. My name is Hank Wickley. I'm an admissions representative at Alma College. I'm also a very proud Alma College graduate, class of 2020. I will put my contact information in the chat at the end of this so that you're able to reach out to me if you have any other questions. We'll start off today, and now my presentation's not going. There we go. With just some information about Alma. And one thing I always leave off of this first slide is where we're located. Alma is right in the middle of Michigan, right in the middle of the mitten. So about 2 hours from both coasts, 2 hours from Detroit, about an hour north of Lansing. We have just under 1,500 undergraduate students. So, and an average class size of 18 and a student to faculty ratio of 12:1. Basically, all those three things mean is that when you're at Alma, you're not just a number, right? It means that you know your classmates and you see them at your games or at your performances. It means that your professors know your name and are friends with you on Facebook or wishing you happy birthday on social media, different things like that. It's nice to know that you're at a place where you're not a number and you're not going to get lost in the crowd. We do have 27 athletic teams. They're all awesome. Our cheer and stunt team just won a national championship just a few weeks ago, and so did our dance team. I apologize. Dance team and cheer and stunt team both just won those national champions. We're really proud of them. We have over 100 clubs and organizations on campus. I could try to list them all, but that would take forever. There are anything from academic interests to social and political interest groups to a squirrel watching club. You name it, we've got it on campus. And it's super easy to start your own club if we don't have one. Our academic calendar is a little bit unique. It's one of my favorite things about Alma. Our traditional 4-month semester in the fall starts in September, goes until December. The winter term is very similar, 4 months from January through April. We're actually in the middle of exam week right now, and graduation is this coming Saturday. And then that one at the end of the academic calendar is probably the most unique thing, and that is what we call spring term. Spring term is just the month of May, and it is an opportunity for you to just take one class, whether that's on campus or off campus. And those off campus classes, I mean going to Africa to work in hospitals, or going to China to study the history of the Great Wall, or going to London to study Shakespeare, or going to Ecuador to study medicinal plants in the rainforest. What that spring term allows for is experiential learning, which is a huge emphasis at Alma across all majors. And what goes along with that is right below there, the $2,500 venture grant opportunity. Basically, we're going to try to pay for those awesome experiences. So if you are traveling across the world, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that that cost to you is as little as possible. A little bit of information about the admissions process and kind of our timeline. We do have rolling admissions, which means we don't have a deadline for you to apply. We don't even have a deadline for you to commit to Alma. So it doesn't have to be at National Signing Day. It can be even into the summer. Our application does open up the first week of August. You can do the Common App or our application right on our website. All we need is your high school transcript and that application. I wanted to put on there our ACT and SAT policies. We are test optional, and we're going to continue to be test optional into next year. So if you are starting to think about those college applications, and if you're starting to take those big standardized tests, just know that at Alma, those test scores are not going to affect your admission or your scholarships. And then lastly, we'd love to have you on campus. We are having in-person visits to campus. You can come and have a tour and meet with our professors, meet with coaches, get to know some current students. The nice thing is that we roll out the plaid carpet for you, and we do what we can to make your time on campus meaningful. And so whoever you want to get in contact with, we'll make sure that we can do that. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, I'm going to put my contact information in the chat.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Alma College. Okay, I want to remind everyone that that Q&A function is open, and we're going to turn it over now to Ferris State University, whenever you're ready.
Good evening, everyone. Let me see if I can get the screen share back up here. Alrighty, perfect. So welcome again, everyone. Welcome tonight to the event. Thank you for coming in, stopping in, and listening to what all of our colleges have to say about ourselves. So a quick bit about me, Carlton Thompson. I'm a recent graduate of Ferris State, actually just recently graduated this past year, summer 2020, from the Bachelor of Social Work program. I came in as a freshman back in fall of 14, left Ferris and transferred back in spring of 17. So I got the freshman experience and the transfer experience. So there's my contact information right there. Feel free to email me or call into that office phone number. I'm in the office 1 week out of every 3 due to COVID kind of restrictions right now, but I do still have access to that voicemail inbox. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So a little bit about Ferris State before we get into the nitty gritty of things. We were established back in 1884 as the Ferris State Institute at the time. We were founded by Woodbridge and Ferris, who's actually pictured right there in the bottom right picture. Oh, go back. So those core values that we have on campus today, I feel are very strong and present because of the image that Woodbridge had of Ferris State Institute. He wanted an equal and kind of like affordable opportunity for everyone to have that chance to get higher education. So that picture that you see actually right here is our first graduating class from the College of Pharmacy. And out of the 15 for women, and while women graduating from college these days definitely isn't out of the norm, back in 1884 that was. So like I said, those core values, I feel that Woodbridge and Ferris would be proud to have them on campus to this day. A quick look at Ferris State. So we are located in Big Rapids, Michigan. So kind of a little bit of the northern part of central Michigan. These numbers are based off our 2020-2021 school year. So the one that is just now ramping up. We have a total enrollment of 11,165 students, with just over 8,100 of those students residing on our main campus in Big Rapids. So the rest are spread throughout our statewide locations. We come from 44 different states and 39 different countries. So there's definitely an opportunity to meet somebody from someplace you've never been. However, 93% of our students do come from the state of Michigan. So it's very likely that you're going to know what hometown somebody's coming from, or they're going to know which one you're coming from. We have a current student to faculty ratio of 16:1, which means thankfully 80% of our classes will be at 25 students or less. The largest class I had was a lecture hall for genetics, where we had 100 students in that lecture hall. Then we broke them down into individual groups of 20. So very similar to what Alma said, You're going to be getting a very personalized education. Your professors are going to know you on a first and last name basis. So that's kind of the college experience you're looking for. And this would definitely be a good pick for you. What does it take to become a Bulldog? Well, for incoming freshmen, for those admissions requirements, all we're asking for is a 2.5 on a 4-point scale. And if you do submit test scores, that opens up lots of opportunities for scholarships. We're looking for at least a 900 on the SAT or a 17 on the ACT. We do have test optional admissions as well now. So that means that if you don't want to submit those test scores, you don't have to be considered. That does unfortunately kind of change a little bit what are the scholarship opportunities you're looking at, but there are still a lot of scholarship opportunities out there for those students who are test optional. It is free to apply online for any of our levels, whether it be an incoming freshman student, a transfer, or even the graduate level. If you are one of those students, it is free. So go ahead and get that done. It takes right around probably about 15 minutes, I would say. And if you do transfer in, which is definitely a smart idea, so what I ended up doing towards the end, all we're looking for is a 2-point on a 4-point scale and at least 12 transferable college level credits. So if you just wanted to do kind of 1 year at home in a local community college, or even just 1 semester and then come into Ferris State, that's definitely, like I said, a good idea. We do recommend that you take an English and a math class though, just because that's going to help us make sure that we get you kind of paired up with the right classes here at Ferris State. That way you're not repeating any unnecessary information or repeating any unnecessary classes. If you do transfer in, that is a great tool to utilize here. That link, what it does, it pretty much walks you through all the steps, make sure that you're taking classes that will actually transfer into Ferris, will be accepted. That way you're not spending any money on classes that won't come in. Make sure that you go through all the proper steps of financial aid, securing scholarships, pretty much all the important checks and balances and whatnot. So what kind of academic opportunities do we have here? We have over 180 different programs ranging from the associate's level all the way up to the doctoral level. Some of the programs that I would like to highlight real briefly that I think are kind of like the stars of Ferris State University, our welding program, or really anything within the College of Engineering Technology. That college has a hiring rate after graduation of 88%, which is the highest across campus. So we can pretty much assure you that you're going to get a job after that. The Michigan College of Optometry, we're the only school with an optometry program in the state of Michigan. So if you want to get that degree, this is definitely the school for you. All of our programs, though, at the end of the day, we're a career-focused institution rather than research-focused. There's still research opportunities available for you here on campus. But as far as making sure you're getting the skills to be ready to go out into the field and be a contributing factor to whatever job you're looking at, we're going to make sure that you get those skills in college, which is nice. What are we going to do to make sure you're a successful student? So highlighting these real briefly. The Academic Literacy Center is probably the most important function within this slide. 2 very important kind of components within there. That's our Writing Center and our Tutoring Center. So for the Writing Center, students have a saying, if you walk in with a C paper, you're going to walk out with a B. They don't do the paper for you, unfortunately, but they do pretty much grade it before it's actually graded. And then with the Tutoring Center, the way that works, for every class that you have per week, that's 2 available hours that you get inside that Tutoring Center. So if you're taking 5 classes a week, that's 10 available hours that you have to use inside there. We always have somebody readily available for math, science, history, kind of our core classes. But if you're taking a program-specific course, for a good example, I was taking a 300 level German course. For whatever reason, I decided to learn German in college. So after that first 2 weeks, I realized that I was struggling severely and was going to need somebody. What they did was they contacted a student that had taken the class with that professor and passed it with a B+ or better, and that was my tutor. So I ended up getting an A, and it worked out for me. So
Ferris
that's
State, I'm so sorry, we've hit the time.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you want to advance to the last slide and let people know where they can learn more.
Absolutely. So if you want to learn more, feel free to, like I said, go ahead and reach out, follow us on those social medias right there. That's going to be the best way to find all that information. And I'm going to put my information into the chat as well. So definitely feel free to reach out to me towards the end there.
Awesome.
Right,
thank you so much. It is really hard to cram all of this information in such a short time. So
it is.
Great job by all of our institutions here. Turning it over now to Eastern Michigan University.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Misty. I am the Assistant Director of Visit Programs here at EMU. I'm going to be giving just a brief talk to you a little bit today about Eastern Michigan University. Thank you so much for attending today. On your screen now, you should hopefully see just some general information about Eastern. So we are considered a mid-sized institution. So we've got about 17,000 students that attend EMU. We were founded back in 1849, so we've been around for a very long time here. But here at Eastern, we have a lot to offer for students. So there's over 200 majors to choose from, with over 200 student organizations. And then on the theme of twos, we've also done over $200 million in renovations recently. So with over the last 5 years, we've recently renovated our College of Engineering and Technology, our rec center, as well as our science complex on campus. So those are just some of the few buildings that we've put a lot into, to know that we have a lot of different updates and programs on our campus for students. In addition to that, we sit on about 800 acres of land. So for those of you that are interested, we're about 15 minutes to cross from one edge of campus all the way to the other. Oftentimes students say it's a really nice size for them. As you're kind of navigating this college search process, I think it's really helpful to know where your students and peers are actually going to be joining from. So at the top of your screen, you can actually see a breakdown of where our students join. This last year, most of our students join us here from the state of Michigan. So we actually have 85% of students that join us right from our own backyard. Then we have about 7% of students that join us from our neighboring state of Ohio. We have 6% of students that join us from the rest of the US, and then we actually had 2% of our students join us from the rest of the world as well. So at Eastern, we've actually had all 50 states represented and 83 different countries. You get a very diverse learning experience at EMU, and I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart when you're in the classroom. Just to briefly highlight some of the stats that you see on the screen here, right in the middle, I always like to highlight 21% of our incoming class last fall were actually first generation college students. So we really do try to let all students know that depending on, any walk of life that you're in, we have a lot of resources here on our campus. I probably won't have time to go over all of those today, so feel free to ask in the chat if there's anything specifically that you want to know more about. Just to briefly hit on life in the classroom, while we are mid-sized and have about 17,000 students, almost 90% of our classes are actually going to cap at 30 students or less. So really, it's a nice transition when you're coming from high school. We have a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio here. We were actually founded as a teaching institution. We're actually one of the first teaching institutions west of the Appalachian Mountains. So we really do try to promote in the learning classroom for our students. And that's why you'll see that most of your classes, including some of your freshman courses, are going to be very typical to your high school size. At the bottom of your screen, you can see we do offer courses in a lot of different formats. So even prior to COVID-19, we did offer online and virtual classrooms for our students. We also offer hybrid courses, which is kind of like an in-between stage. So if you are someone who wants to be on campus full-time, we've got classes for you. If you're someone who's considering going back to school a little bit later, maybe you're considering as a transfer student and you're going to be working, we also have online courses for students to consider. In a traditional world, we also offer study abroad for our students with over 42 programs. We're hoping that's something that we can start again in the near future. And then I think one of the most important statistics on this slide is that 89% of our recent graduates are actually employed within 6 months of graduation. And this is actually for jobs in their field. So I always like to highlight this. So as you are considering where to go to school and what kind of degree to get, knowing about the resources that each of the universities offer you can really help you advance your career. And that's something that we really try to emphasize for our students here at Eastern. And then finally on this slide, we've recently been reclassified as an R2 Carnegie institution. So we are in the top 6% of research schools in the nation. So if you're interested in going into a STEM field or you're interested in doing research, Eastern every year offers an undergraduate research symposium. We've done it for the last, I think we're up to 40 years now. This year we did it virtually for our attendees. So that's really something that we promote at the undergraduate level here at EMU. Just to briefly hit on some of these, life on campus is something that we have a lot of. So over 200 student organizations. We are a Division I institution in the MAC conference. So we have 18 D1 sports if you're interested in that. We also have club and intramural sports. So if you're interested in playing sports, but maybe not at the varsity level, there's tons to do there. We do have on-campus housing. So there's 10 residence halls to choose from. We also have over 18 dining locations on campus. So there is a lot. Lots of resources when you're here. Just to highlight a few, we offer free tutoring for our students. We have CAPS, which is our psychological services for our students as well. And then again, we also have our University Advising and Career Development Center, which helps those people get employed once they graduate from Eastern. I do want to briefly just talk a little bit about the application and scholarships that you might be eligible for here at EMU. So applying to Eastern is actually very simple. If you're in your junior year of high school, we will have our application open in the summer for you. So usually in June that will open. We are rolling admission, so there is no application deadline. And just by applying to Eastern, you'll be considered for all of these scholarships just based off of your application. This year we were test optional, so we did not require an SAT or an ACT score. We have not made a firm decision for fall 2022 applicants yet, but we're hoping again to have that out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully you can take a picture of this and then revisit it. All of this information is on our website, which I'll stick in the chat as well. And then I just really briefly want to put on the screen how you can contact me. So we are currently offering in-person campus visits, but if you're also interested in virtual visits, you can find that information at emish.edu/online visit. And my contact information is there on your screen, and I'll also put it in the chat. Thanks so much for learning about Eastern today. I'm going to turn it back over to Janine.
All right, thank you so much, Eastern Michigan University. Going to do another pitch for that Q&A function again as Butler University gets their presentation loaded. Make sure you get your questions in for any and all of our institutions here today. All right, Butler University, take it away.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jerry DeWicki. I work with students in parts of Michigan, originally from Michigan. You see a picture there of Butler University. We're about 5 miles from downtown Indianapolis on a 300-acre campus, located in a residential suburban area. So when you're on campus, you don't know you're in the city, but it's great to be able to take a 10-minute drive and be downtown and hang out in downtown Indy. So you're going to get 1,000 different stats thrown at you tonight. So I'm trying to blow up a little bit on that, but here's a few highlights. 98% placement rate. You see our undergraduate enrollment size is about 4,700 students. We're primarily an undergraduate institution. We have about 500 or 600 grad students. They don't really have much influence on campus. Undergrad is really our focus. Our size, I kind of refer to us as being too small to be big and too big to be small. So it's really whatever experience you want to make it. 65 majors, I'll touch on that in a second. We have about 200 different study abroad programs in 60 different countries. About 40% of our students study abroad, 130 or so different student organizations, all the things that you would typically expect. Our average class size is 22. Only about 5% of our classes are above 50 students. Even your first year seminar classes as a freshman are capped at 18 students. Largest classes, first semester chem class, first semester calculus class might only have 35 or 40 students in it, and we have no teaching assistants. All of our classes are taught by faculty. Those 65 different majors are divided up into 6 different colleges. Our College of Communication, Sports Media, Communication Disorders, Journalism, our College of Education, one of our smaller schools, but really excellent programs, 15 years straight of 100% placement in our College of Education. College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is our largest, includes an engineering program that we partner with Purdue University on, as well as biology, biochemistry, all the things in social sciences, humanities, all the typical things you'd expect. Our College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, we have a 6-year pharmacy program, as well as a 4-year Bachelor of Health Sciences and Healthcare and Business program. Our Lacey School of Business, all the usual suspects of finance, economics, marketing, excellent new building there. And our Jordan College of Arts, rounding them out, we have one of the top 3 dance programs in the country, as well as music and theater programs. All of our programs are direct entry, so you are taking classes in the business school, in the pharmacy program right from the beginning in your freshman year. One other thing I will mention, a large group of our students come in each year into what we call exploratory studies. Those are students who are undecided. They take a course that they are required to enroll in. They do a lot of Myers-Briggs testing, career exploration exercises, skills assessment, and then you can take anywhere into your second year to determine your major. As I mentioned, we're in Indianapolis. It's a big selling point because we're a smaller fielding school, but part of a larger city. There's a lot to do in the city, socially, culturally, but the biggest thing is the professional opportunities. About 80 to 85% of our students will have at least one internship, and many of our programs have required internship components. Jumping into the application process, just so you kind of have a good idea of what comes next. Our application opens on August 1st. We have early action and a regular decision, and then after February 1st is rolling admission. Hitting that November 1 date, about 80% of our applicants hit that date. Your best chance of admission, your best chance of all the different scholarships or if you hit that date. We also recommend filing the FAFSA for everyone, no matter what your financial circumstances, because not only are we going to review for federal aid, but we're going to take a look for any Butler University grant money that we may be able to offer you as well. Little quick snapshot of our academic profile. Typical middle 50% between a 24 and 30 on the ACT, 1150 to 1300 on the SAT, and about a 3.7 to 4.2 weighted GPA. The pieces of the application, we accept our application or the common application. There is no application fee. Of course, there's going to be a writing sample or personal statement that you're going to submit as part of the common app or as part of our application. Your transcript, certainly we do a holistic review of your application. We don't farm our applications out to app readers. We read the application and get to know the student really from the point where you're interested to the point where you enroll. And so we're looking at your application and determining grade trends, the context of your classes, the strength of your classes, the strength of your school, all of those pieces that go into your application. I'm literally thinking about 50 or 60 different things as I'm reviewing your application and taking all of those pieces as part of the decision. We have gone test optional, about 50-50 this year for our students, about 50% submitted test scores, about 50% did not. That does not affect your scholarship consideration. Our scholarship matrix basically will recalculate based on whether you submit test scores or do not. And then lastly, your resume, you're going to detail any of your accomplishments, achievements, awards, co-curricular activities, all of those types of things. That's optional, but most of our students are going to list those things again as a way for us to get to know who you are. And letters of recommendation, same thing. If you submit them, the majority of our students do. We read them, it's part of the decision. But if you don't, we don't count it against you. If you hit that November 1st deadline, we try to get all of our decisions out by mid-December. You'll know about your main merit scholarship. There are some application-based scholarship opportunities as well. If you hit that November 1 date, we'll make sure that you know about all those along the way. So I am wrapped up. Again, my name is Jerry DeWicki. I'll put my contact information into the chat, and I will cede my time back to the rest of the group.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Butler University. All right, we're going to turn it over now to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln whenever you are ready.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm hoping everyone can see me okay. Just getting one more thing pulled up here. Okay. All right. My name is Samantha. I am a regional recruitment specialist. So I do oversee the wonderful state of Michigan. And I'm here to tell you a little bit more about UNL. So the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is part of the Big Ten. It is a R1 research institution. We're located obviously in Lincoln, Nebraska. We are a land grant and flagship institution, and we do we offer over 150 different academic programs with direct admission, opportunities to participate in our university honors program, and have over 500 recognized student organizations. We're located in the state capital of Nebraska, so students have tons of access to businesses and entertainment very close to campus. Lincoln is also home to over 300,000 people, and there's always something to do and not a whole lot of traffic to get there. The city is intricately interconnected with all of our campus locations. We do have three. We have City Campus, we have East Campus, and we have our Innovation Campus. You can run from the library to Chipotle to grab a smoothie, to a coffee shop, to an art gallery, local music venues, our Haymarket area, which features our Pinnacle Bank Arena where our basketball team plays and where we host our graduation, all without driving. Nebraskans are super friendly folks, and our students feel very safe on campus. Nebraska is home to collaborators. We're a diverse community of scholars who have come together to create new knowledge. We build on your experience, and we want you to have a better future. You and your story are super important to us, and together you can make a difference. Like I mentioned, we do have over 150 majors out of 9 different colleges, but you're in charge of creating your story here at Nebraska. We do have direct admission to all of our majors, minus engineering and architecture do have a couple specific high school class requirements, which include pre-calculus and calculus, and a couple different academic performance requirements. We do have a law college and a dental school on our campus. Our pre-health programs are very robust with lots of research. You get to pick your major with pre-health, and we have an amazing partnership with our University of Nebraska Medical Center, just north of us in Omaha, which is only a 45-minute drive. Making sure my slides change and they're sticking, I'm sorry. All right. So like I mentioned, Nebraska is a top public institution. You get the best of both worlds. You have access to a Big Ten education and a close-knit community. We have just over 25,000 students total, and out of that, 20,500 are going to be seeking their undergraduate degree. We have a 17-to-1 student-faculty ratio, smaller class sizes, and you will meet students from almost every state in over 114 different countries. Engage with research with your professors, get involved in UCARE, participate in one of our over 500 organizations, pre-professional organizations, go and do competitions, complete those internships, and make friends for life and experience all the Midwest has to offer. One thing I like to tell Michigan students is once you're in Lincoln, the mountains are only a 7-hour drive away. The Rockies are a great area to explore. There's a whole other side of the country waiting for you outside of the Great Lakes. Going over some of our admission requirements, you can use our institutional application. We are also on the common application. Our application generally opens on August 1st, and we are rolling admissions. Students are guaranteed your admission if you meet our core high school requirements and our performance requirements. And I do have those listed out on that PowerPoint slide for you if you wanted to take a screenshot of that. We are also test optional for fall 2022, and you're automatically considered for your merit-based scholarships based on your application. We do have the lowest tuition in all the Big Ten, and 70% of our students receive some sort of financial aid, scholarship, or grant money. Also, we're open for campus visits, and we would love to see you in Lincoln. We have a ton of different virtual options for you to check out videos. You can set up in a meeting with myself. You can set up a meeting and have one of our campus tour guides actually take you around on an iPad and be able to see campus, since I know it's a little bit of a drive. But definitely come on down, check us out, check out the videos, do as much information seeking as you can before you're ready to come and make that decision. And last but not least, trying to be conscious of time. If you do have questions, like I said, I am your dedicated recruitment specialist, so I'm here to serve you. That is my email and that's my phone number, and you can call, email, or text me with any questions that you have, and I'll also drop that information into chat, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over.
You all are killing it today, giving us all of the important information so fast. Okay, we are going to close out our presentation today by hearing from the University of Michigan. Take it away, University of Michigan.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and greetings from the University of Michigan. My name is Haley Smith, and I serve as an admissions counselor within the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I'm excited to be here with you all today. So when introducing students to the University of Michigan, we first like to reflect on our past as an institution, where we are today, and where we see ourselves going in the future. Although we are not physically on campus today, we still would like to acknowledge the land on which we live and learn. In 1817, the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi nations made the largest single land donation to the University of Michigan, seated in the Treaty of the Foot of the Rapids, so that their children could be educated. We acknowledge the history of Native displacement that allowed the University of Michigan to be founded. Today, we reaffirm contemporary and ancestral ties to the land and their profound contributions to this institution. Just as we acknowledge the ancestry of the land on which we learn, we also feel compelled to speak to both the reality and serious impacts of racial injustice in our country. Our efforts begin with fostering a diverse, equitable, and inclusive community for our students, faculty, and staff here on campus. Recognizing that U of M is still a majority white institution, we have an ongoing focus spearheaded by our DEI office on improving our climate of diversity to be supportive of all. We will be sharing some resources in the chat now, including some of our campus goals and student offices for you to review. So now, as a whole, U of M is a large public research institution located in Southeast Michigan in Ann Arbor. We are consistently ranked as one of the best college towns in the United States. Together, U of M and Ann Arbor provide the quintessential college town experience with over 300 restaurants to explore, NCAA Division I Big Ten athletic events for 29 varsity sports teams to attend, and really a spirited campus community that attracts students from all 50 states and over 100 different countries. Beyond geographic diversity, our students identify with a diversity of backgrounds, races, religions, cultures, and educational interests. In fact, 14% of our students identify as the first in their family to attend college, 18% of our students are Pell eligible, 27% self-identify as students of color, and 17% identify as part of the LGBTQ+ community. Our vibrant campus community, coupled with the opportunity to learn alongside your peers, will really enhance your U of M education while you're preparing to work, live, and collaborate with others for a lifetime to come. So our students pursue over 280 undergraduate degree programs, 70% of which are ranked in the top 10 nationally, and over 90% are ranked in the top 20. So whatever you're interested in studying, you will have highly regarded opportunities available to you. Many popular majors include pre-med and pre-law pathways, the College of Engineering, the Ross School of Business, nursing, musical theater, political science, and so much more. Many students are pleasantly surprised to find that our student to faculty ratio is actually just 15:1, and only about 7% of our classes have 100 or more students in them. So also thinking about outside of the classroom, students participate in a robust array of extracurricular activities, including over 1,600 student-led organizations like the Michigan Daily, Future Black Healthcare Professionals, La Casa, Dance Marathon, which is something that I was a part of, student government, or fraternity and sorority life. U of M is also recognized as the #1 public research institution in the United States, and over 1,300 undergraduate students are engaged in research, and you can actually get started as early as your first year on campus. So becoming a U of M student really unlocks a lifetime of potential that stays with you well beyond your years in Ann Arbor, as more than 630,000 living alumni around the world provide a valuable personal and professional network for Michigan graduates. This community is really at the heart of the Michigan experience, and we need emerging leaders who want to create positive change in their communities and bring innovative ideas from their own diverse experiences and backgrounds. So I do want to touch a little bit about applying to be a Wolverine. Through our holistic review process, we really aim to know the whole you. So to do so, we consider your academic strengths and rigor of your curriculum within the context of your high school, extracurricular involvement that shows you will positively contribute to the U of M campus community, one teacher letter of recommendation, and essays that provide insight to the person that you are and your interest in the University of Michigan. So we know that this past year has presented many unprecedented challenges, and we have adjusted our application process in several important ways to support the class of 2021. This includes a test flexible admissions policy and a delayed early action deadline for the class of 2022. We are continuing to monitor the pandemic and will release any future announcements or changes on our application changes website very soon. So please know at this time we are hosting all events virtually and encourage you to learn more about the U of M community and the depth of our application review process by watching our virtual information session and attending a live post-information session Q&A with current students and admission representatives. So I will provide that information in the chat for you. So we hope that you found this quick overview helpful, and we look forward to answering some of your questions as we can help. So I will leave you all with a big go blue. Thank you so much.
Thank you, University of Michigan. That was a great way to close us out here. All right, it was absolutely fantastic to hear from all of these wonderful institutions. I'm going to ask all of my colleagues to just join me on video one more time so that we can thank everyone together for attending us here. But first, I want to thank each of you. So thank you for all the information that you shared about your campuses and your programs. I really hope that everyone enjoyed the presentation, learned a lot about each of these campuses, and that you'll do some more Googling after this session, because I know that wasn't enough time to get all of your questions answered. I'm going to share my screen very quickly here, because in addition to thanking our presenters, we also need to thank all of our attendees. So whether you're here live or you are catching this recording, thank you for being here. We hope that you enjoyed it. And reminder that within about a week, you'll be able to receive a copy of this recording along with recordings for all of our event series at strivescan.com/Michigan. I put that in the chat one more time for you all. And just one more note before we end officially, and that is when you close today's session, you're going to have a very quick 4-question survey to help us know how to make this event and others better in the future. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Good luck to you all who are working with a May 1st deadline, and we'll see you all again later. Bye-bye, everyone.